March 30th, 2010. The New Yorker, a story by Meredith Blake. If for some strange reason you've never heard of Tomes and Talismans, just know this. It's quite possibly the finest post-apocalyptic educational series about library science ever produced by Mississippi Public Television. Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
Welcome to Bottle Episodes.
Welcome to TNT Tomes and Tales. Actually, you know what?
Brandon, I need you to break because first we say who we are.
Oh,
we can't just get into it.
Yeah, that was You're so
You're
excited.
very excited to do
excited.
Tomes and Talismans.
I'm so excited to talk to be on this episode of what I like to call TNT, which is Tomes and Talisman and Talk. It's no longer Bottle Episode. Sorry if you liked Bottle Episode. Tomes and Talisman has done a takeover.
Well,
I can't believe you're christening everyone's Hardwick right now.
TNT. Now I'm Daniel Crow.
David Piccolomini.
And I'm Tomes and Talisman.
Brandon Gorin.
Brandon Tome Gorin.
Who we asked to watch this show with us, and he says it is now one of his 5 favorite shows.
I think it's top 5 favorite shows. I'm not.
Can I hear your top 5?
Okay, let's see. I think number 1, probably Community. Number 2, probably.
Sorry, it was just funny because Crow looked at me immediately. Community is one of my favorite shows. Yeah.
We watched it. We watched season 3 together.
I'm just so excited to see where Tomes and Talisman lands in the top 5.
I think number 2 probably is Daria. Number 3 probably early Mythbusters. I think it kind of jumped the shark eventually, and then number 4.
Wait, did they prove it or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just it ebbs and flows, but I think it's a solid show overall. And then I think it's number 4.
Number 4.
I think it's number 4.
Wait, what's 5? What's
below
5?
right below Mythbusters.
What's 5? Just to round it out so we know what it's
probably
above.
5 is very embarrassing. WWE's Raw. Like
Okay.
it's just a show I've loved as a child.
Well,
I've loved
I'm
it my
really
whole
surprised Lynch didn't make it in there.
life. No, I love Twin Peaks so much. I think it's it's probably 6 though. I think that's 6.
2 spots below Tomes and Talismans.
That's what I love about this so
Twin
much.
Peaks.
Is that means that Tomes and Talismans beat out Twin Peaks for being in the top 5. Twin Peaks used to be in his top 5 television shows, and then he watched Tomes and Talisman, and suddenly there's a new T in town.
Honestly,
yeah.
I might switch Raw and Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks might go because the thing is, one of the things I love about Tomes and Talisman, sincerely, is I can watch it while going to sleep, and that's the biggest compliment I can give to a show.
That is the most 30s, in your 30s compliment, and it's a compliment you've given several things you've recommended to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely. Is you could sleep to this is a thing that I love about things.
So let's talk about Daniel, if you like to recap what is Tomes and Talismans.
Tomes and Talismans is a show made by Mississippi Public Broadcasting in the mid-'80s with the
1985.
budget, 85, with the budget, set design, and story of a subpar escape room.
Which, for 1985, is still solid. That is the thing, is I'm looking at this, and it's bad, for sure. It is 1985 pretty,
It's admirable.
It's admirable.
I have intense admiration that...
You know what? I really did try and defend it I lost steam in the middle.
I want to be clear. Tomes and Talismans is an incompetent show, but I have admiration for these people that got together in Mississippi, and the one place that kids need to learn how to use the library, and they tried their best to teach them, and it was just the least efficient way possible, with a weird post-apocalyptic story to teach the Dewey Decimal System. I mean, the literacy rate has not improved in Mississippi one bit since, to no one's surprise.
Yeah, well, you have to have access to public television to receive all this.
Oh no,
valuable
you
library.
watched. This is something that was definitely put on when The Substitute was in. This is a fascinating TV show because it's an amazing example. Because a whole bunch of kids, I can guarantee it, who are our age and a little bit older, watch the show, but only watch like 2 episodes of it because it was the 2 episodes where the substitute teacher was in, and it was just like 2 weird middle episodes, and they didn't have any concept of what a user was or what a wiper was.
I like that.
This is where
your problem with. Okay, go ahead.
This is where you're wrong, though, because I found an interview with some of the cast of Talismans and Talismans circa 2020.
This is blowing my goddamn mind.
And they were saying, yeah, I still get calls from people all the time being like, why are you on TV? This is still licensed
Why
by
are you on TV?
Yeah, this is still licensed by public broadcasting stations all across America to just play randomly. This was made in Mississippi, and they were interviewing one of the actresses. I use actress very loosely. It was a child that presumably their parent worked at Mississippi Public Broadcasting and was made to be in the show. And she's like, yeah, sometimes friends will call me up to this day. They're in California. Like, yeah, so there's a teenage you on TV in prime time.
I also, I'm fascinated that the email, I really thought the email was going to be much sweeter. It was going to be like, you taught me how to read, or you taught me the Dewey Decimal System, not, why are you on my television right now?
If a friend of yours appeared on TV and you hadn't seen him in 25 years and they were in Tomes and Talismans, your question would be, what's going on? Because, okay, first of all, we need to sum up the plot of Tomes and Talismans.
Yeah, I mean...
Brandon would like to sum up the plot of Tomes and Talismans.
Actually, I have a pre first of all.
All right.
Before I called Dave, and I said, Dave asked me to watch this and changed my life. And
bye Twin Peaks.
For the record, also, I was the best man at his wedding.
He was the best.
This is what changed his life.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get married no matter what.
Then
Dave.
Brandon, I need to tell you this. I'm the reason we're watching this. This was my idea to watch this one.
It's
nothing to do with David. I'm the one that said Tomes and Talismans.
So Dave said,
congratulations on the credits.
Yep.
The 1980. I was like, this is from 1985. It's edutainment, and I went, oh, I actually know what this is, and I wrote all my predictions of what I thought I would think about this show and put it in an envelope.
And you have that envelope
and
with
I
us.
have that envelope here. This is weeks later. Would you like me to open up this envelope and read what I think?
Should we do the plot, or do you want the predictions first?
Like, let's get the basics out, and then we do the predictions, and then we go with the top episode.
I'll do the quick basics.
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
I feel I should tell the listeners before we really get into it, though, that normally we just watch the pilot to get a baseline, and then the highest rated episode. No one has bothered to rate any episode on IMDb, so both Brandon and I watched every episode. David watched the first 2 because the first 2 are actually kind of one pilot, and then he watched the finale.
Yeah, because the first episode...
It's a prequel
it's
to
a
the
really,
show. We need to actually say what the show is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
so,
no, I've watched 3 episodes.
3 episodes. We've watched 13.
Yeah, you guys both really committed to this bit.
So, okay, here's Tomes and Talismans.
It's a life bit at this point.
The year's 2123, and there are these things known as the wipers. And what are the wipers? They're the coolest guys in the world that just like going around and hitting train tracks with sticks. And they're so annoying that all humans have decided to evacuate Earth.
Okay, so...
They have to... No. We're going to later find out that the wipers are only in a small area of Mississippi. There's a couple guys living in a building in the middle of a field in Mississippi, and they're so annoying. Everyone was like, we need to leave Earth. Just a couple of them.
Yeah, they
just
do
a
have...
handful. They're aliens that look like Mad Max versions of the Village People, and they've come to Earth just to be really cool. And so, as the wipers are making everyone leave Earth, there's one library which is trying to archive everything.
The final library, yes.
The final library, just so that when humans do come back, whenever the wipers get bored and leave Earth, there will be all the information they need. One of the librarians in search of one last book to put in the library.
Bookhart.
Miss Bookhart. She ends up left behind as the last ship leaves Earth. She is stuck on Earth. She is put into stasis by something known as the Eternal Being, who is some weird god. And then later...
He wears a robe.
She wears a robe. Later, she is awoken by some children that are aliens called users that look just like humans. They need help getting the wipers off the planet. She gets help with them through the Dewey Decimal System over the course of the next 12 episodes.
Okay, I have to point out one thing in that time frame. During that thing where they're archiving all the knowledge, There's a point where someone pulls out a newspaper that says all ships leaving today or something like that. And that I'm trying to figure out who that newspaper was for.
So I think the third
It's
time
just from his book art.
like
just to archive.
Hey, it said all ships leaving today, and I'm like, who doesn't know that?
who doesn't know that? Who's making that newspaper?
What are the means of production to create the newspaper that goes like? I guess I am a diehard stand-up comedian in a way where we'll get it. Like it has been and will be sad when I'm doing stand-up at points.
Yeah.
Like. There have to be the newspaper equivalents of that, of being like, extra, extra, world exterminated today.
Also, so
this is our last day on Earth. This is nothing I'd rather be doing than right here.
Some of the world, they have so much issue with the actual like books and newspapers they have to show in it because they didn't make a lot of fake ones. One of them is like, and here's the World Atlas from 2098, and they open up the first page and it's Spiro Agnew. It's just stuff about Spiro Agnew. It was clearly something.
He's been important for so much longer than we were going to realize right now.
Also, like the final newspaper has a couple pages in it. It's not just like spaceships leave today and that's it. So that newspaper keeps going. So there's
coupons.
there's comics and stuff in it. There's like a Garfield comic of
The
just
last Garfield.
just like standing like still love lasagna, I guess. And like show Kathy is just it's a picture of Kathy, and then the second one is a picture of Kathy again, and then the third one is a picture of Kathy and she's going ack, but there's a spaceship flying off behind her.
But here's the thing: the paper would have continued, and so would the comics, because the humans are just going off planet. The human species in they just got annoying neighbors.
Yeah, we just
and left.
We just gave up.
Can't miss an issue.
Like the wipers don't do anything other than annoy people.
They break any technology that is not wiper technology.
There's only one wiper technology.
There is one wiper technology.
They can put a big dome over, like a force field.
They can put specifically a magnetic force field over things.
Oh my God, that's the most 80s like anti-computer solution I've ever heard.
Anyway, we gave you the pretty quick rundown of what Tomes and Talismans is.
That kind of gets you there. Do we need to do the last episode yet, or are we
No,
going to wait on?
that was just a quick synopsis. We'll get into the nitty gritty, but you had your predictions.
Okay, and I also want to say one of the things I kind of legitimately and also hilariously love about it is the first episode you're introduced to this ragtag group of librarians, and all but one of them fuck off at the end of the episode.
That was the thing.
And never come back.
The interviews that they have from the cast on the Mississippi Public Broadcasting site, one of them is one of the librarians from the first episode, and everyone else just says, "Hi, I'm such and such. I played this character," and she has to go, "Yeah, I'm blah blah blah. I played the librarian from the first episode."
Like
and then everyone else is telling stories from the set. She's like, "Yeah, I was there like 1 or 2 days. It was fun." And everyone else has so many things.
It's so funny.
It's
because
also
they give them backstories and loves, and like they like have like jokes, and then they never come back.
I do like that though, because the thing is, if she was there for a couple days, she was only there for like not that much longer than everybody else on a show that lasted a year. It wasn't that much
lasts
longer
to this day.
Yeah.
in
People
our
still
hearts,
seeing it.
for sure.
And on public broadcasting
public-
across the nation.
Dude, they're getting emails right now. They're going to get emails, and they're going to be like, hey, some jackasses talked about you in a basement.
But you know
God,
what? They
I would love that.
liked the show.
Yeah.
Look, the show is bad, but I like that it exists. It's a truly singular show.
It
Two
is.
people watched the entire show. 2 out of 3 people watched the entire show.
This is my second time watching Tums and Talismans. I watched this whole thing like 8 years ago,
Um,
and I chose to watch it again.
do you know? So one of the
Please
things.
do mushrooms with me. Anyway.
So one of the things that's interesting about Tones and Talisman is, have you ever read? I know you haven't. Susan Sontag's On Camp.
No.
No.
It's. I think the most easy way to put on it is it's about the idea of some folk putting on a show and the power of that, right? And I think that's what this is. But it's interesting because it comes out in 1985, so it actually predates the radicalization of children's television. And when I say radicalization, I'm not talking like I'm talking like radical, dude. Like the night you can see that it's pre-Nickelodeon.
I see what you're saying.
Like it doesn't have the like attitude. Like the Wipers are the bad guys and they are annoying and bad. And I feel like after Nickelodeon, everybody becomes the Wipers. You know?
Yeah, and the Wipers rule.
Yeah.
The Wipers are a biker ska band. Is what they are. They're the best. I love them. I wanted them to win.
They should have been part of the Ren and Stimpy universe.
Yeah, bikers are part of it, and then the rest of it are like, "Ew, this is gross. We hate this."
Can we get your predictions?
Yeah,
now,
let me see what I actually don't know what these say. So give me 1 second. Let me open it up.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying bottle episodes, feel free to give us a subscribe to the episodes, write a review. It's all super helpful. If you want to follow any of us on Instagram, it's Daniel F. Crow, DPIC Comedy, or Brandon Gorin is at Brandon T. Gorin, or it might just be Brandon Gorin now. It'll be linked in the episode for sure. Check out my special Goblin King, and check me out on TikTok, LitGrandma69. The other two people don't really use social media. And that's everything. Great. I know how to end an interaction uncomfortably.
This is my Tomes and Talisman predictions.
This is
before I ever watched it.
okay. Did you watch any of it?
No,
Before? Oh, this was. Just
I did not watch a
immediately.
single second of it. This is.
Did you know what it was about?
No, I knew it was 1985 edutainment.
Okay, let's hear it.
First statement. I will want to fall asleep to it. I mean this as a compliment.
Great. Predicted.
Predicted. Number 2. The soundtrack will deserve a vinyl release, which I stand by. That thing
No,
rules.
that's
That
a lost-
soundtrack rules.
it's a lost Wendy Carlos.
Yeah, dude.
album.
It is
Yeah.
Moog to the. Listen,
I love these are things before you listened to you watched any of it. You were like, Tomes and Talisman, I'm gonna want that on vinyl.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
I
that is
don't
not
bel-
that is not the bar that it is for a lot of people.
I don't believe you wrote these before you
No, I
watched any
absolutely
of
did.
it.
no, because I know the next one is not true. I will feel warmth towards the special effects, which is one of the angriest I've ever felt. Which is you had 2 alien races and not one of them had a third eye.
No, it's just people.
Just people, like, and that's something I found legitimately very confusing over and over again. Was like, what are you? Oh, I'm wipers. Oh, how do you know you're a wiper? I don't know. I act like an asshole.
By the way, I do like immediately disprove it that he wrote
Yeah.
these before.
Yeah,
But also, Tomes and Talisman should be a show with like lovably bad special effects.
They do a little bit in the first episode when the people get beamed up to the ships.
No, but like try
That-
with the
that's
like,
good
the
in-camera shit.
costuming.
But like, I need more than a fucking headband, dude. Like, make them blue. Make those kids a fucking color, dude. It can't. I know it's hot. in Mississippi. Is that right?
It was Mississippi, but hang on, I'm gonna go back to that interview I watched with them
Okay.
regarding it being hot. Everyone had, according to one of the actors, everyone had one costume. They couldn't afford more than one costume for everyone. It was summer in Mississippi, so they were all very sweaty, and it was starting to stink. And they would not let them wash the costumes because they thought they would fade in the wash. So the whole production of Tomes and Talismans, everyone just stank terribly because they couldn't afford more than one costume. And you know
Can't
what?
smell through the TV.
And while I'm here, I gotta throw the big grenade from that interview.
Here.
While I'm on the subject of what they're talking about in that interview, so I don't have to keep going back to it, because this is the creme de la creme of anecdotes about Tomes and Talismans. In the last episode,
What a sentence.
as the Wipers retreat from Earth, you see just a big line of people with torches marching through a field at night. So that was the whole cast, because they didn't have any extras or anything. So that was including like the kids that were the users that tried to defeat the Wipers. One of them, the girl, but not the main one, like the little black girl.
Yep.
She tripped
Okay.
and lit herself on fire.
Oh my god.
She was fine,
Good.
but after that whole shoot in her stinky, unwashed costume, she tripped and lit herself on fire for Tomes and Talismans. And now it airs on TV, and a couple times a year people text her and be like, "Why are you on my TV?" And she has to think about the time she lit herself on fire.
While being incredibly stinky.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was
go on
a-
with your predictions.
I was on public access television once.
Did you light yourself on fire?
No, I was part of
Do people email you?
No, because it was Delaware Public Access.
This is different. Public television is different from public access.
Yeah, this is public access. Never
What
mind.
were you on public access television?
It was a music video called Kids Patrol.
God damn it, that's so good. That's a bottle episode
Yeah,
right
when are we
there.
watching
Can we
Kids
find
Patrol?
Kids Patrol, please?
I don't know if we can actually find Kids Patrol, Kids Patrol.
Wait, it was a music video called Kids Patrol. Was it? Did you rap? Did someone rap? Did a white person rap?
Oh, someone rap. I don't remember who rapped. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
I'm
honest.
so
I
excited.
was a child when this happened.
It's exciting to know what your next tattoo is going to be. And it's
my
going to be
my only tattoo is
Dave
Kids
Piccolomini
Patrol.
was in Kids Patrol.
I honestly feel weird YouTubing Kids
Kids Patrol, yeah.
We'll put in a disclaimer, Kids Patrol. That thing I was in. Wait a minute. No, it was a production that I was an actor in.
Delaware. Kids Patrol Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware will probably help. Public access.
Oh, yeah, no, I know we don't need it right this second, but Dave, don't worry. I got people. We're going to find this. So my next one, and this is just a thing I know about the time, it's the acting will be a style that can't be sincerely duplicated. That wouldn't, which I think I'm right about.
No.
What a
You could do a
sentence.
parody of this on Adult Swim, and people would be able to pull that off.
Do you think? I feel
This
like
is just a sincere Adult Swim show.
I feel like it's sincerity. Because do you remember that one they did about the Mole Man on Adult Swim?
You will have to be more specific.
It's a lot. It was a semi-live action one. It did the same thing where it introduced a bunch of people at the very beginning and immediately killed them off, which is very funny and very cool.
Again, they didn't kill those people off. They just went off planet.
They for 100 years they are dead. Those
well,
people
yeah,
are
they
dead.
died of natural causes.
Yes, they did.
Or
yes.
in a horrible Martian library accident.
But it's a style that like Adult Swim can do, but like you can't do it for real anymore.
No,
And-
I think under Tim and Eric, they would find the right actors
It does.
to
yeah.
mimic that acting style.
I get that.
you can find those people. Like even honestly, on a more artistic level, Sean Baker. Like you
Yeah.
could find people who are, or the Safdie brothers, like who work with people who are not naturally,
Yeah.
like, or aren't normally actors, and you can work with those people in a
The difference is
different way.
those people get good performances out of bad actors. You would be trying to get bad actors to be actually bad in a very
No,
specific
you-
way.
But I think it's the same muscle to get authentic performances.
And my final note is the fact that we are watching this out of context will make it less enjoyable. I think if you were to see this show at your day summer camp at the library once a day after your lunch period, it probably ruled. Like, it was probably a lot of fun if you spent a day at the library, but like then you ate your lunch and it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and some cheese curls and like a Mountain Dew because it's summertime, and then you got to watch that show and it's 12 episodes, so you watch 13 episodes, so you watch the first 2 and the last 2, and then every day from there you watched 1 a day. I bet it ruled. Like, I bet it was like a lot of fun as a kid to watch.
Maybe, but here's the thing. They don't have enough content for 13 episodes. They don't have enough to teach you about the Dewey Decimal System. I am not exaggerating when I say the first 4 episodes, they teach you the difference between fiction and nonfiction. That takes
Okay.
4 episodes.
Okay, so
Twice,
that just kept going because they
Yes.
did do that in the first episode, and they were like, "Wait, what?"
There's a difference between fiction and and it just keeps happening.
I
And then it comes back in the 12th episode.
Yeah, it does come back.
They're like,
But
"Hey, you
everything,
remember the
that's
difference
the
between fiction
final
and
report where they have to tie it all together and they have to tell you about big bibliographies.
I know, but we get the difference between fiction and nonfiction by that point. That's the one that they drill home the hardest.
Yes, that is the thing they bring up over and over
which is
again.
weird because people in Mississippi have some of the most trouble discerning fact from fiction.
Get
Hey.
Get
Yeah,
'em.
he's
Yeah.
taking a stand.
Get 'em.
Watch
Oh,
out.
Mississippi.
Dave out here saying vote blue no matter who.
Country road, take me home.
Wrong state.
So here's my question. It's something.
Is the question, is Tomes and Talismans fiction or
Is it
nonfiction?
fiction or nonfiction? Wait,
It turns
is
out,
Tomes or Talisman fiction or nonfiction?
well, until you have a time machine, you can't tell.
You think Tomes and Talismans could still happen?
Do Tomes
You think
2123, we could
You
be
think
living
the
in
internet
TNT.
the internet could break and we'll revert back to using the Dewey Decimal System?
We could backpedal to Dewey.
I get it. You just want to live in a world with Miss Bookhart. You love her so much.
She exists in the real world.
Tomes and
Miss Bookhart probably weirdly, I don't know. She's probably like 60-something. Her husband might be alive or dead. Who knows?
Dude,
I
please
hope
don't.
he's listening to this, and now he feels threatened by you.
Please don't threaten
Mr. Bookhart, fight me in the streets.
Miss Bookhart goes. She ventures to the bookmobile in search of a special book in the first episode, and there's a trip. I think it was on IMDb that says that the bookmobile, when they tried to get to that location, immediately broke down.
Immediately broke down, and they just had to like push it.
Yeah, that is a real rinky-dink operation. But that's why it's so admirable that they got this made.
All 12 episodes.
13 episodes.
13 episodes. So you have the first episode, which is the librarians, and they all fuck off. And then the second episode, we're introduced.
And they all fuck off.
And then we're introduced to this new alien species. They look identical.
The users.
But
which is almost certainly Tron had just come out.
You think
And
so? Yeah.
Tron, the computers in Tron referred to the people within the computer as users.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Also,
It's weird. That's how I refer to my dad.
So,
Users?
Hey.
Come on, man. We're trying to. This is for families.
This is for families. We've kept it
Don't talk
relatively
about
clean.
your dad.
That's
This is for families.
So in the second episode, the users
I
show
like
up.
how evident it is that David doesn't remember any of this show, as all of his interjections are just not related to. How long ago did you watch Tomes and Talismans?
Like 3 weeks ago. We were really going to record this a while ago, and you guys really latched on to it. In
I
a
don't
way,
understand how you didn't latch onto this.
I watched it and went, oh, I once acted in a musical theater play.
Yep.
Like Mozart Back in Time.
Yep. That's
Where,
what this
like,
is.
and then also the Lewis and Clark Adventures, where I played a dog.
Yep.
Which one?
Not in Lewis and
Oh.
Clark. No, it was Scanlan was the name of the dog.
Oh.
In the so like
So this is
I saw
this
this
is the music
and I
of your
went
people.
and I went, oh yeah, this is just a different bad version of this.
But it also rules.
This is honestly the thing that sucks the most about Tomes and Talismans
Is nothing.
It was too cool for my school. It was literally.
So then the users come down and they're like, "We got to figure this place out." And they're down and they found some signs. They're
By
like,
the way, it's
"Oh,
still obvious how much I've not remembered this
Yeah.
based on how much I still went on
This
a
would have
tangent.
been from an episode you watched, and we
Yeah.
will cover
No,
ones you
I
didn't.
remember.
And
I
then-
remember what happened, and then it's the kids.
the kids come down and then
No, the kids before they come down, they're up in the spaceship and they're going, "Man, it's wild up here. We shouldn't even remember books. Books are for suckers.
yeah, one kid is like, "Yo."
Digital is the only way," and which,
Yep.
frankly, I agree with.
So there is one kid that I didn't. I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm not sure if we have a podcast. I'm not sure. And then I watched the second episode and there was a performer and I showed it to you. We watched it, and while he talked, every time he wasn't speaking, his mouth was open. And I'm like, guys, we have an episode. We have an episode about the dude who can't close his mouth, and he's not in really anything else.
He's in one other scene in one other episode.
Yeah, he's like in a background maybe, but he's not. And then there's the
I really think it speaks to the fact that they could only find like 4 kids that knew how to close their mouth in Mississippi. And then they just made do with what else they had. But yeah, so then the kids arrive.
and the kids arrive and they're
Show
like,
up.
oh
Wait, we need to comment on the cool name of our lead kid. I think she's the lead of all the kids, right?
no,
Abacus.
yeah, there's
Abacus.
Abacus, Grandma, Tesla. There's
Helvetica Johnson.
who's
Yeah.
who's the uppity asshole kid?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I don't really, but he
He
sucks.
sucks. I hate that
He
guy.
the kid sucks. And he like
Oh, books.
that's a perfect impression of him.
Thank you.
Oh, what's books about? We have computers.
I don't know about this. The words stay on the page.
Yeah. And like he's kind of a main character too, though. He's sort of a main threat.
Abacus is your mainest kid.
Yeah. Well, and also, but the asshole kids.
What was the show you were on?
Sorry, I'm just still like the name Abacus. When you're that far into the future,
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah,
They're not
dude.
even humans, so how would they have abacuses?
Yes.
Well,
so
like,
so is
no,
Grandma.
that's like
Why
na-
would they name someone Tesla?
Yeah, I know. Good point.
No, it's exactly. It's like it's a thing. Is like the technology's so ancient, but we don't. Like, you notice how my name's David Piccolomini, not Vase, like clay pot Piccolomini. Honestly,
Yeah.
guys, I don't hate that.
It's a really strange rapper name.
Ern
Clay Pot
Piccolomini.
Piccolomini.
It's your boy Clay Pot Piccolomini.
Get ready for the most milk toast mixtape of the year.
And so they come down, and Miss Bookhart is knocked out, and the universal being goes, "Yo!"
Well, they just by happenstance find the bookmobile.
They find the bookmobile.
and they're like, "This is sick."
Yeah, this is awesome.
Wow.
And then
First thing I know, I love books.
And
then,
I love mobiles.
Miss
Bookhart.
Miss Bookhart is passed out in the bookmobile.
Oh
and
my
they
God, her name, she hearts books. I
Yeah,
just got
dude.
that.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's a good show. It's a really good show. There's a lot of deep
Well,
references.
there's a lot of depth to this writing
Yeah, dude.
that I had
Yeah.
not picked up on.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna make you watch it again. So they have to wake her up, and the universal being is like, "Oh, how are you gonna wake her up?"
No, he gives them a fun riddle.
Yeah, it gives them a fun riddle, which is how the universal being talks. The universal being is like an interesting character because
No, here's what I find interesting about the universal being is that he's clearly supposed to be an actor with gravitas.
yes,
Picture a Morgan Freeman type.
but
That's-
he's 16.
yeah, he's like he's 18 at most. He has a deep voice for that age, but he's still like he's too young for this character.
There's no confidence behind any
no,
depth.
no.
So it's that, no,
Yeah.
no, you have to defend the past to protect the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to say one scene that me and Crow disagree on, but I think I found kind of upsetting.
Disagree on.
Yeah, no, I found it's in the
Formal.
It's in the first episode, and Mrs. Bookhart is trying to find the third volume of the history of the Wipers, and she walks into this dude's house, and this Wiper is just ripping this book apart.
Yeah.
And then the Wiper's throwing the book in the fire, and she goes, I'm just gonna go. And I went, you know what? That freaked me out like 1%. You know what I mean? Like that scared me a little bit.
What do you
Dude,
mean?
the Wipers are awesome. Like they just do cool stuff, and if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. Just let them continually have a nonstop frat rager. That's all they want to do.
They just hate technology so much.
Yeah.
I do.
They hate technology, and
What do they? But honestly, okay, we know a lot about technology now.
yeah, that's true.
Like in 100 years, what are we gonna find out that would make us so mad? We might want to burn the whole system down.
I mean, there's a lot of
We're
stuff in there.
honestly, we're like 4 years from that happening regular style.
Are we gonna become Wipers?
I listen. I
It
refuse.
probably won't be knowledge we're erasing.
Dude, I just want
You
to
never
make
know.
a point that like Dave is real smart, and he also just answered this. He like answered this question like a kid who didn't do a book report. Like, like he's just like, technology is real serious. I'm like, dude, we're talking about Tomes and Talisman right now. What you're talking about
I'm
is some
saying
other.
100. What I'm saying is
I'm
100.
saying-
No, that was not a book. I stand by. 100 years from now, we will probably be agreeing with them being whatever the fuck their names were.
But they're
The
also
Now
Wipers.
Wipers. We'll probably be agreeing with the Wipers in 100 years, being like, oh,
okay, but
What
also
do you think they
they're
were?
after the library, David. They're
Yeah,
after
we
the
don't-
library.
First of all,
The
history's
1985 library.
written by the winners, and so the libraries are, of course, going to look like the good guys in this situation.
When was the Unabomber caught? I think he was caught early 90s, right?
Yeah. The
So there's-
Unabomber was still around.
Yeah, there's a chance
No,
that
he's dead now.
No, he just
No,
all
in
right.
during the show.
Yeah, no, this is pre-Unabomber,
but no,
I want
there-
to say.
No,
No.
he's unibombing at this time.
Is he?
He's
he's not caught yet.
Unabombing.
Okay.
But so there's a chance he saw this on TV and was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. It could have just played on his local public station. He'd be like, finally, someone's saying it. These Wipers have the right idea.
Vipers figuring out what's going on. Yeah, we are locked in no matter what under capitalism.
I would love to look through the IMDb reviews and just find someone being like, 1 out of 10 stars, 10 Kaczynski was right.
Yo, no,
Nothing stops you from putting that review up right
Yeah,
now.
nothing's
You know what? Right. It will still come out 3 to 4 weeks before.
Yeah.
yeah, nothing's stopping you from adding a fun fact of Ted Kaczynski watched this show before he started Unabombing.
No,
No, he was
In
Unabombing.
between, as inspiration for further
It
Unibombing.
could have been before he published his manifesto, so it's feasible it influenced the manifesto.
Wait, Detective
Well, it
Kaczynski-
definitely influenced his ability to find the right books in the library
Yes.
for his
Did he, start,
manifesto.
wait, did he start Unibombing before the manifesto dropped? Was he like Unibombing
He was
first?
Unibombing so he could, because he was like, you guys got to read this, and I have no better PR.
The manifesto is technically the beat. You have to let a
Yeah.
couple bombs drop first, and then
Yeah.
you're like, DJ Kaczynski.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who's
you can
this
also
show for?
for Tomes and Talismans.
No, this one, the one we're currently on. Like, who is this? You ever have that moment where you're on a show and you're like,
I was so happy with DJ Kaczynski.
I liked
Are
it.
you kidding me?
I really had a moment of like, wow, this is really good. Because like the people of Tones and Talisman, they probably listened to this point and they were like, this seemed nice. And then there was like a lot of Unabomber talk.
Okay, I'm
Well,
gonna.
the Wipers have the Unabomber's idea.
Yeah, no. Well, they, except for the fact that they love a magnet shield, they are
Yeah.
heavy into a magnet shield.
They do. There's a very funny moment where they introduce in the first couple episodes. Here are the Wipers. They hate all technology. Don't worry about how they got to Earth.
Yep, don't
That's
think
not
about it.
important. But then they have to justify how they're keeping the users in that building. Like, how do they build this magnet shield if they hate all technology? So they have to have Grandma Tesla go, the magnet shield, the one technology the Wipers have ever created.
I also think the universal being like dropped in for like 2 seconds, like, hey, a shield that attracts itself, and then like fucked off again.
Yeah.
I like the universal beings. Like, hey, let's make it interesting. You
He-
guys get one tech.
It plays all sides.
Yeah,
Everyone loves the universal being.
dude.
Universal Raytheon being.
He's universal, dude. He's universal.
You know, give him some leeway.
Universal
'Cause
military industrial complex being.
cut him some slack though, because he's only 14. He's still figuring out the universal being thing.
Hey, maybe you should attack Iraq.
But okay, so overarching through the story is pretty much every episode they have to learn a new element of the Dewey Decimal System
Yeah.
to find some information they need to defeat the Wipers.
I like that it's a
And-
MacGuffin, like it's a Jackie Chan Adventures, but instead of the Zodiac, or no, that was the Talismans of the Night, or the 12 years. Oh, it was the Zodiac.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the Dewey Decimal System.
Dewey Decimal System, yeah. But so
I
Dave,
didn't
you
do the report.
You didn't watch most of the episodes because
Stop shaming
I'm
me
not-
for doing the
David,
regular
I'm
amount of
not
work.
shaming you. You objectively made the right decision. Brandon and I are worse off for having watched
Hold on,
this.
no. I'm gonna Daniel. I'm gonna throw you right under the bus. This was pitched to me as just for safety. I'm gonna watch it since it's not rated. I'm gonna watch all the episodes and
Yeah.
tell you which episode to watch.
Okay.
I am a worse person for that.
Just for this, I'm gonna throw Dave under the bus for a second. I called Dave up because I screwed up. I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm not gonna watch any more than the first 2 episodes and the last episode." And then Dave went, nah, dog, just watch them all." Like he was like, "No, watch every single episode." And I went, "Thanks, Dave. That's all I needed." Like,
And it's your 4th favorite show now.
and I also like had really strict rules for how I watched it until the final 2 episodes. I walked into the woods.
Oh yeah, half this show takes place in the woods.
I walked into the woods and like
The place where you can film for free.
Yep.
Yeah.
I walked into the woods. I sat next to a stream, and then I put it on, and I would watch it like just sitting next to a stream. I would watch it like 2 times in a row, and then I would walk back out
You
of the
should have
woods.
been arrested. Like a cop should have
That
arrested
is.
you.
I realized I like.
Hey, you mini Unabomber, get
Yeah,
over here.
no, that's like a Unabomber sentence.
Yeah.
I walked into the woods and I watched Tomes and
And I
Talisman.
left. No, you should be on a list, but I
To
just
be
want
fair,
to.
Tomes and Talisman is the other name of the anarchist cookbook.
Yeah. I want to fill you in on some things that happened in the other episodes in their journey to take down the Wipers.
Very
Oh, no.
excited.
So the dad of some of the kids, he's out stuck in the woods with the Wipers.
The
and they're
kid, the shitty kid.
they're
yeah.
trying to get him to the library where he'll be safe from the Wipers. And at one point, he's been in the woods for like 4 days, and he's like communicating with them through walkie-talkie or something. He's like, "I'm so hungry. I'm
The
so
one
thirsty."
technology the walkers haven't gotten to.
and
Wipers, Dave.
and he's talking to the
You
kids.
need
He's
to get
like,
it right, or I'm gonna
"Oh,
fist fight you."
I'm so hungry. I'm in this field surrounded by acorns or
Yep,
something."
there you go. Yeah.
And like, "We'll describe the acorns, Dad." And he's like, "Oh, they're green and they're big, and if I crack them open, they're pink." And then they go and find some books, and like, "Those are watermelons. You can eat them. That takes a whole episode. That's a whole episode of Tomes and Talismans.
You know, in high school, I think I had to read from acorns to watermelons. So
There's also this is also important just because I love it. Within the second,
how do they hide? Hold on, sorry. This was a thing that people visually watched, right?
So you can see his perspective the whole time. You're like, this idiot. These are watermelons.
yeah, I think
He's an alien though. He doesn't know what they are.
you're supposed to be shouting at the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure they didn't try to hide the fact that they were watermelons in some way.
No. He just didn't know they were watermelons, and I think you were supposed to be like, dude, you can eat that, you
and
fucking
they'll
idiot.
provide you with water as well.
Yeah.
Because he was also very thin.
Also,
You melon head.
they
Yeah.
wear headbands. The users wear headbands so that they can communicate.
Yeah, they
in
weren't
any
using
language.
walkie-talkies. They were doing psychic.
Yeah, there's psychic
headbands.
stuff with headbands, so that's how they talk to each other and stuff. Also, it is revealed that the Wipers are afraid of horses,
Yes.
and that's like an important plot point.
Well, it's very funny when the Wipers see a horse for the first time on screen because they go, oh, oh no!
Yep.
Like the Wipers this whole time have been bad boys, and then they see, a horse and immediately turn into old Southern belles.
Why are they afraid? Like, is that just like? I mean, the idea.
So they have to go and find the book that explains why the Wipers are. They have to go find the history of the Wipers, Volume 3, which is in the user's main base. So then Abacus has to travel through the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
The sewers have been fine for 1,000 years.
Yep.
But as soon as she travels through them, they start to collapse.
Great. Yep.
She gets back in time with the book, which explains why the Wipers are scared of horses. They had a big military loss against a horse only one time, apparently.
Yeah, that was their big loss.
Against one horse.
It was
No,
a dude
guy
on a horse.
So then you watch the last episode. That's where they have to look. Okay, we're skipping to the last episode, which is mostly,
oh man,
which is kind of an
I hope they can
epilogue.
keep up.
It really does tie it all. It's one of the like weird alta.
What I will say though, within a lot of that, I think the real answer is that a lot of librarians are also horse girls.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
because this was clearly written by a librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
The public access show about a librarian.
It's not
saved
public
the
access;
world.
it's public broadcasting. There's a difference. This was funded by viewers like you, David.
I love the fact that
weren't
David
like
gets
me.
it wrong every time, and you have corrected him every time.
You
And
keep saying that it's 12 episodes, and it was 13.
It's 13 episodes. I'm
It's
sorry.
13 episodes.
It's just
12 publicly accessed episodes.
Oh, shut it off. I don't want to do this anymore.
Produced by Ted Kaczynski.
But the last episode, the way that they finally get the Wipers to leave Earth, which, by the way, in the 12th episode, like the head Wiper says, we got to get the users off Earth, and then I'll rule the whole planet.
Yep.
Which is how we find out, wait a minute, there's only been like a dozen Wipers on Earth this whole time, localized in a field in Mississippi, where they've just been hitting train tracks with a stick, and the entire planet was like, we got to go now. Like, we have nuclear bombs.
We could have fixed this. Like, we could fix
They
this
wiped
problem.
their access to it.
Yeah, I guess, but
It is true. I mean, they're on like Windows 95 systems. So actually, if anything's still susceptible to wipers,
Hey, how
it
you gonna
might
be on
be the
Windows
nuclear
95
codes.
and 85?
yeah, you couldn't.
You could,
Future
Dave.
tech. Well, the show was
Okay.
2123.
Yeah, it was 2123.
yeah.
there
We
we
had
go.
no indication that they had computers or anything in this universe. But anyway, so the last episode, the way
I
that-
meant nuke things are still on that.
Yeah, nuke things aren't on the Windows 95. They're on their own thing. They're on their own special thing. You gotta have like keys and stuff, dude.
you can use a key to access Windows 95 if you really want.
I feel like the nukes aren't on Windows 95.
Okay, I'm asking President Joe Biden to call into the show and let us know.
Huge Tomes and Talisman fan. Noted Tomes and Talisman
He hates Tomes
fan.
and Talismans, loves bottle episodes.
Oh.
Joe Biden, that's why he tuned in. He's how much he hates Tomes and Talisman.
Fine,
Hey,
they're gonna
watch this show.
They're going to rip it a new one.
Hey, if you hate Tomes and Talisman, I want you to turn this episode off.
Anyway,
This late in the game.
in the last
Ryan Reynolds, if you could hit up our good friend Joe Biden.
in the last episode, what happens is the librarian and the kids use an overhead projector to project an image of the dad on a horse onto a cloud.
It's a laser.
It's yeah.
It's a hologram, and it's a
Oh
laser.
God, I forgot the episode where they all pronounce hologram wrong for a whole episode.
What?
They spent a whole episode pronouncing hologram wrong. They just keep going hologram for a whole episode.
Hey, you know what?
Hologram.
Worked for Back to the Future is all I'm saying.
To be fair, in 1985, they
No.
may have only known that's how you could pronounce it.
Hologram?
Hologram.
No, Star Trek was on television.
But
Never
speaking
mind.
of Star Trek, there's a prop in the show that's clearly Star Trek merch that they pasted a fake jewel onto.
Yep, just for like one. Yeah.
They added a fake vape to their prop.
Yeah.
So they
Just for anyone listening, David is actively falling asleep. We were recording this at about 2 a.m.
I wonder if this-
David didn't like Tomes and Talismans. He doesn't want to be recording this right now. Brandon and I have
We're
him
almost done. We got 15 minutes
we
left.
have him at gunpoint to discuss TNT. He doesn't want to do this.
Steve doesn't know it yet. It's actually a 2-part episode.
That's right, because guess what? Right after this recorded Voyage of the Mimi, we're watching
it
all of it.
We're watching all
Of Voyage of the Mimi.
And then we're going to watch Ghost Rider, which I'm really excited to get into because I refused to watch Ghost Rider until I recorded this episode. That was like my thing.
What's Ghost Rider?
Ghost Writer
Yeah.
is it's
That's what I said.
it's a writer, like a bunch of kids meet this guy and like maybe he's a ghost and he's like writing stuff and they solve mysteries.
No relation to the Roman Polanski film of the same
No,
name.
I'm gonna hope not. I'm gonna hope because I said kids and I don't want that dude around kids.
Dude, the movie just had like.
Well, I'm
Pierce
gonna go.
Brosnan.
I'm gonna go to sleep, guys.
It's fine. We'll just talk about Tomes and Talismans on our own.
This is
You
a
know,
3-hour episode.
you're
You
just,
can't stop
You're
us.
just here because tradition more than anything.
So they take a
We were supposed to record this episode 2 days from now, and I was like, I'll have time to rewatch a couple of these to get back in the tone and
Get back
talisman
in
of
the
it.
tone.
But it's I like the thing about it is, yeah, it's a thing. I feel like I had seen a bunch in terms of this edutainment stuff.
No, but it's so much more insane than every other bit of edutainment.
It's
Like the story that they've concocted is it. Why would you ever try to teach Dewey Decimal System this?
No,
way?
it is weird that they did need like 18 minutes of setup
Yeah.
for the idea of that you can follow the number system for Dewey Decimal.
I know less about the Dewey Decimal System after I watched this.
dude. In comparison, Wishbone is a bitch. I don't know how else to explain this, but Wishbone is easy shit in comparison to
Yeah.
Toes and Talisman. Because Wishbone,
Toes and Talismans?
yeah, Toes and Talismans.
Quentin
Tomes and
Tarantino presents
Toes
Toes and
and Talismans.
Talismans.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
watch him do a remake of this show.
It's a bunch of toes with necklaces.
I fear that they're gonna do a remake of this show. I hope they never do.
Why would they ever remake Tomes? We are the only people watching it. These have, they're all on YouTube, and I think the episodes have about 500 views.
No, like the first one has like 11,000.
No, the first one has a lot of views, but then people go,
Oh, I saw
no,
it, and then
got
they move
it.
on with
Yeah.
their
Yeah,
lives.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
on the other hand, went, "Well, this is my life now."
Yeah. Wait, you said you were going to print a Tomes and Talismans T-shirt.
Yeah,
Would you like-
pretty. You would be.
where can people buy this online, Brandon?
I think you could actually probably buy it if you listen to this. If you come to me and you say you listen to this podcast, I'll give it to you for $15. Like I'll make it for you specifically.
I gotta be honest. When you were setting that up, I thought it was gonna be a better deal than $15.
That's
No,
not a bad deal
that's
for
a pretty good
t-shirt.
deal. That's a pretty good deal
That's a
for
solid
Alright.
T-shirt deal.
well for a custom T-shirt.
a
in
T-shirt
the
for
moment.
you. You're getting it for free because we have Tomes and Talisman
Yeah.
Talk. Like you're part of the podcast, Tomes and
It's
Talisman
weird.
Talk.
I'm gonna have to pay $15.
It's actually you
Yeah.
have to pay $20 because you're being a jerk.
Yeah, because you're not a real fan of TNT.
you're just a fucking bandwagon.
Oh wait, you know what I forgot that I
What?
love about Tomes and Talismans? In the intro, when there's a book that says Tomes and Talismans, and then they open the front page to another page that says Tomes and Talismans. It's
also,
a double intro for the show.
Do you know what I love about the Tomes and Talisman book? It's a fucking 5-ring binder.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. It's the book that's gonna save the world, and it's this ancient Tomes and Talisman book, and it's a 5-ring binder.
No rust has affected this
It's
5-ring binder.
incredible to me, and it has a bibliography because at the end they're like, and bibliographies are important too. Everybody.
They didn't
Everything's
really
important.
scream cite your sources at the end of that.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Like some of the episodes you miss in it. There's a whole episode devoted to title pages.
Yep.
an entire
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
episode.
That's
A
another
whole episode, 20 minutes of your life devoted to title pages.
10 minutes. Calm down.
There's most of an episode devoted to just finding the book of notable quotes and then looking through that book
Yep.
to determine what notable quotes are from.
There's a solid episode. Probably one of my favorite episodes is the one about maps because it kind of keeps like it doesn't just
There's a song in it. there's a map song in that episode. Yeah, there's a map song just out of nowhere. No character sings it. It's just suddenly we're panning over shots of maps, and then there's a catchy little ditty about why maps are cool.
yeah.
Map song. This is the map song.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
pretty
for
much
me,
like
can
that.
you edit in somewhere the fucking sick ass theme?
The
Because that
theme to the
that'll be
episode
at the beginning.
yeah,
That'll
that
be the beginning
theme
of the
that
episode.
theme Wendy Carlson Core
And right now,
fucking rules. Like I want that music. I don't know if there was enough to put on vinyl because I feel like they use that sick ass theme and then the same like do 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 every episode. It's just that and a bunch of dead space.
It's just a 7-inch on vinyl.
Yeah. I don't know if you can get past the 45 for that.
But package it with the T-shirt.
Oh,
ooh.
gosh darn it. I've already spent money on that.
Okay, guys, how would we improve the show?
Okay, we're not done yet, Dave.
David is done.
We have
Let
to,
the man
we have
sleep.
To, we have to
We have
finish
10 minutes left.
If we have to finish the story at least. People want to know how it ends.
Okay, the final being.
So they project the image on the cloud.
Which is
The wipers immediately, all 12 of them, be like, "Oh no!" And
Which
then
is-
they leave the planet in a row. And at night, they're all carrying torches, and that shot cuts just before a child slips and lights herself on fire, and then that's it. Also, there was a recurring storyline throughout of Miss Bookhart and the dad of the kids flirting that never goes anywhere.
Also, there's one of my favorite line reads, and it's in the final episode. You just have to watch the final episode, and it's just an extra. And he goes, "The siege is over. The siege is over. The siege is over. The siege is over. The siege is over." And I don't know if I even nailed it because each time he does it, it's identical. And it's one of like I re-listened to it like 5 times to make sure I got it right.
This is where we edit in the clip.
The siege is over. The siege is over. The siege is over. The siege is over.
So tired. I love it.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Okay, what will we do to improve the show?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah,
You don't want to give him a higher budget?
I mean, maybe, but like I also feel like then they would like I would want to make the aliens look different. That is one of my biggest issues
Okay.
with this perfect show.
I have one.
Watch with your mouth.
Just to let everyone know, Brandon has pulled out a knife.
Add Muppets.
Okay.
One puppet.
One puppet.
No.
One puppet.
One puppet. I don't want a Muppet. I want something wet.
Several Muppets.
I want
What?
what? Yeah, I want a wet
Like
puppet.
you want Kermit in this?
No,
want
no, no,
Kermit.
no, no. I want like it to be like a Dark Crystal type thing where
That's
you
not
add
Muppets.
Muppets.
Those
Those
are
are
Muppets.
Muppets.
Those
Those
Jim
aren't
Henson.
Muppets.
Those are
Those are Jim
legitimately
Henson.
Muppets.
That doesn't make them Muppets. You have to be in the Muppet Show to be a Muppet.
No,
That's
the
not
Astronomers
true.
of Sesame Street are Muppets.
Yeah.
Well, they've been on the Muppet Show. They were in the Muppet movie.
No, Muppets are a type of puppet.
Yeah.
Muppets are a style
Okay,
of
we'll
puppet.
talk about this later.
I've been to the Jim Henson exhibit at the Museum of Modern Image, and they've got Dark Crystal.
I've been to
stuff there.
Poetry Slam. I've been to
Alright.
Puppetry Slam.
All right.
Puppetry Slam.
You know, just spite you my
You want to
God.
do a puppetry
I-
off right now?
I'm
It's
gonna I'm
crazy.
gonna improve with more Muppets as well.
What?
I'm seconding his improvement suggestion. That's mine. More Muppets just to make you mad now.
It doesn't.
The Muppets,
to dark
the
everybody's
Muppets
crystal.
from the Dark Crystal should be in this. And you know what? It should be all Muppets from the Dark Crystal. That's the whole cast
They're not
for my
Muppets.
version of improvement.
They are okay. That's a good version. They are not Muppets. And also, we all did the same kind of improvement, which is just any effects.
No,
just
no.
any effects
To
would
be
be
honest,
nice.
No,
it's what I would want to improve it, more songs. Because I remember when the map
you're-
song came up, I was a bit jolted. I was like, there should be one of these in an episode.
Yeah.
Well-
There should be like a Bruce Springsteen style song about locating old newspapers.
Don't forget the title pages. You gotta have them. Cite your sources.
Bibliography.
Bibliographies. I don't like this show.
I thought you wouldn't. I didn't think you would hate it like this. I thought you would be a little amused.
I
No,
think
it's
I
fine.
think
It's-
Dave likes
it's-
it. It is almost 2 a.m.
No. That's not even. It's the educate. But you're not wrong. More songs. If there's a song every episode, I'm 30% more in
Dude,
immediately.
If there was one rap song, Dave would actually be in that rap
Oh
song.
man.
Oh
Yeah.
no! The '80s Electric Factory ass rap they would do.
Yeah, they
The
would be.
middle
Yeah,
of-
it would be a tiny version of you throwing hands.
Yeah, no, I would. It would have been like Kids Patrol,
Yeah.
Kids Patrol.
You know who should have been patrolling what kids were up to? There should have been a safety monitor on Tomes and Talismans to ensure, one, that they didn't have to wear dirty, stinky, sweaty costumes, and two, that they didn't light themselves on fire.
Can you please send me those interviews?
Just on Mississippi Public Broadcasting
Mississippi
site on the
Public
Tomes and Talismans page.
I
Because
love-
I did a lot of deep dive posts. I missed that one.
Maybe it's just because I've watched a lot of Succession now at this point. I've watched all of it, which is a lot of it.
In many ways, Tomes and Talismans is the 80s Succession.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
what I'm saying is like in Succession with all the cruises and all the problems there, it'd be weird if the same news network was just publishing things that were like, oh yeah, we totally fucked up those cruises. And the Mississippi Public Broadcasting was like, yeah, you remember that girl that was in that show? She lit herself on fire on her watch.
She thought it was funny in modern times. For what it's worth. She was like, oh, I got a fun story. And then she told that story.
Hey, anyone who is on Tomes and Talisman, there's a real chance you're listening to this.
Do you think they Google Tomes and Talismans? once a
every
week?
like it might be like 6
There's
months
one
from
of
now.
them that has a Google alert about this, of course.
And like y'all rule. I love your TV show so
Give them your
His
goddamn.
phone
name is
number
Ja
right now.
Rule.
Give them your phone number so they can text you.
I'll give my social security
No,
number.
just tell them your phone number. No one listens to this.
Why
Say
is
your
it-
phone number.
Why is it?
I have your phone number. I'll read it
Why
right now.
Why does this happen every podcast I'm on? It's
them your-
weird. This is the second time you told everyone to give everyone
out
my
your
phone.
phone number
Does he
so
do
they can
this to
call
all the
you.
guests?
No, actually,
Why is it just me?
Say
it's
your-
weird. I actually dox people in the intro normally.
Say your phone number so they can text you. So the cast of Tomes
Hold
and
on, all right,
Talismans.
all right.
Please stop trying to tempt me, because I will if you say too much.
And the
I
best-
want you to give them your phone
the
number
best-
right now.
And then here's the thing about bottle episodes: you can watch this show, but also we would love to suggest better shows for you to watch. So, Daniel Crow, what is a show you would recommend?
If you're enjoying Tomes and Talismans for its kitsch value, you might enjoy something like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place,
Ooh,
Good
that's a
pick.
great
which
one.
is a very good parody of cheesy 80s stuff. A picture from Dark Place has been my phone background since about 2008. I love Dark Place. Go watch it.
So it was just that in high school, and then it didn't change.
Yes.
Yeah. That checks out. No,
Dark Place.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a great TV
We've been
show.
friends for a long time. It's
Yeah.
also a great TV show.
It's a really great TV show.
All right, Tomes and Talismans. What would you recommend?
I would recommend Tones and Talismans.
yeah.
and,
then you gave like 4 recommendations.
Yeah, I gave
technically.
4, but I honestly think if you like Tones and Talisman, I think Twin Peaks is probably like if you watch Tones
Number
and,
6 on Brandon's top
yeah,
5 shows.
But if you haven't
2 spots below Tomes and Talismans.
if you haven't seen if you
after you watch all of Tomes and Talismans,
if you have
it'll
somehow
take you 6 hours.
seen Tomes and Talisman but have not seen Twin Peaks, you should see Twin Peaks. Do the first season and then like half of the second season, and then that's the thing about Twin Peaks is that back half of that second season sucks. And then
They
just
should replace it with Tomes and Talismans.
just do the first season of Twin Peaks, then do the second season of Twin Peaks, and the second they start talking about the fucking Civil War, immediately watch Tomes and Talisman all the way through, and then just watch then watch the final episode of Twin Peaks, the first series, and then watch Tomes and Talisman again, and then watch season 3
You
of
watch
Twin
it
Peaks.
twice?
And and then you watch Tomes and Talisman again.
All right, now this is the part of the show where David recommends Survivor's Remorse.
Okay, I did almost recommend Survivor's Remorse.
You've already recommended it like twice, man.
I like the idea of just keep doing it, but that was not going to be the show I was going to recommend.
What show do you want to recommend for people that are interested in domes and talismans?
Domes
If
and
you want to
Talismans.
watch a really good show about post-apocalyptic AI problems, watch Mrs. Davis.
Oh, I'm almost done that show. I like that show.
Yeah, it's really good. Betty
It's good.
Gilpin is putting in all the work. Or if you want a show that's as nonsense as this one that's post-apocalyptic, Into the Badlands or Enter the Badlands. I don't remember which one it's called. It's like the tiger, flying tiger.
The Life
hidden,
of Pi.
No, Hidden Dragon, Flying Tiger.
Crouching Tiger,
Crouching
Hidden Dragon.
Dragon. I'm so tired.
Look, I know you're tired, and I know the episode's supposed to be done, but I just had a revelation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Tomes and Talismans like Black Mirror if technology didn't exist? Is it just like
Oh no, there'll be
libra-
12 angry guys in Mississippi
Yeah.
kicking all technology to death,
Dude,
which they could do because the internet is still pretty infantile.
watch the first 3 seasons of Black Mirror, but not anything past that because it gets real bad.
You can watch the new one.
Is it good?
It's
Yeah,
fine.
a couple of them are.
Okay. I don't know. It got real
Yeah,
bad
no,
for a second.
the Black Mirror is generally fine. You can definitely tell where a guy went through a slump of being like, I still have to make this show. I thought I thought it was edgy. And there's that level that people hit where they hit that point where they're like, oh, this thing that was like a thing about that I based my life around, I still have to do that more until it drains all the life out of me.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times what will happen if it's still generally good or they're talented, it'll drop and then it'll pick back up because they get
Do you know what
You know what show never dropped though?
Over the Garden Wall.
I was gonna say Tomes and Talismans.